And welcome to Local Talk here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. My name is Trey Snodd, and we are on behalf of Vance Granville Community College and the Small Business Center and the Duke Energy Foundation, powering economics through grant funding. Ms. Susan Collins joins us here with Key Collective Vintage. She was one of the small businesses that was awarded the $2,500 grant on behalf of Duke Energy and the Small Business Center there at Vance Granville Community College. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm glad to be here with y'all
I
today.
appreciate you very much for joining us. Before we kind of dive deep into what the Duke Energy grant did for you and things like that, let's do a quick little introduction about you and all the stuff that you brought. Again, I think you are the first one to bring everything with you, which is great. I love it. But talk a little bit about you and kind of get some highlight on you.
Okay, so my name is Susan Johnson Collins. I grew up in Henderson in Vance County. Was born at Mariah Perham Hospital. Um, I love antiques and vintage. Have a family history of that. Kind of just a background. I started my business in 2024 after stepping away from my nursing career. I was feeling a little burned out, and I was praying for something that would bring joy, that would also help others, and give me a creative outlet and offer some flexibility as a mom of six kids. Um, my kids are 21 to 6 years old. Um, so, background on my family and stuff. My grandparents were auctioneers. My grandpa retired from the Air Force. He was born in Kittrell, did the Air Force, and then he retired and moved back to Vance County and opened a thrift shop, Jim's Thrift Shop, in the International Tractor Supply Building in Henderson, in downtown Henderson. So he opened that little um, his store there. And I just loved working in his store with him and my grandma. My grandma was actually one of the first few female auctioneers in the state of North Carolina in like the 70s because, back then women really weren't auctioneers. So that was really nice. My mom was a teacher assistant, and then she went back and got her teaching degree. And my dad, he was in the United States Marine Corps. So that kind of,
Wow.
they instilled a big life of service and serving others. When I was younger, I would volunteer, at the Axe Food Pantry when it was across from the Daily
Mhm.
Dispatch. And I just loved helping people and just, being around people, talking to people, meeting people, and stuff like that. Um, as a young child, I think some of my favorite memories, like I said, was working in the store. I would help connect that person to something that meant something
Mhm.
to them, that nostalgia, something that, just brought joy to
Mhm.
them. And thinking about the radio and like connecting the pieces, like when you hear a song and it can bring you back to a place you've been with
Yeah.
your parents, your grandparents, when you were at a dance in school. I think antiques have that ability to bring back that nostalgia because you see something and you're like, oh, my grandma had this mixing bowl. Or, you know, this weekend I did the 301 sale in Selma.
Yeah.
I did a vendor event and everybody's face lit up when they saw this little stove I had, this little kid stove from like the 60s. And they were like, oh my God, I had that when I was little. And they were taking pictures by it. And it just brought such
I
joy to
love
my
that.
face to see them like taking pictures and remembering and like talking and reminiscing. So that's one thing that I really enjoy doing. Um, I love going to thrift stores, auctions, yard sales, and giving items a new
Mhm.
life. A lot of times I'll buy a piece of furniture, fix it up, redo it. If I don't have the time to redo it, I'll sell it for, a little bit more than I paid for and let somebody else, give it new life and rehome the furniture. And with my business, we specialize in curating nostalgia treasures. We host estate sales. I recently obtained my auctioneer license in April of this year. I started auctioneer school, and so
Wow.
I got my auctioneer license. I had to travel back and forth to Charlotte area to be able to get my auction license 2 days a week, and I'd stay overnight sometimes. But that's been a fun experience. Um, our motto with my business is curating treasures for your past, present, and future, one treasure at a time. Um, some things my business offers. Um, so we're all consumers. We all need things, buy things, you know, furniture, dressers, clothes, different things. My whole entire outfit today was thrifted.
Wow.
I wanted to make sure I bought something. And I feel like everybody should be able to have something that they're proud of, that they, that makes them happy, that makes them feel good. My pants I got for less than $8. My shirt I got for less than $10. My shoes I got at Goodwill this week for less than $5. This necklace I got for $3 at the flea market. So I feel like there is sustainability, and it allows people to save money, the environmental impact, reducing stuff out of the landfill, carbon emissions and whatnot. I think that really does help, and you can save so much money. And with the economy and everything like it is, and jobs and stuff like that, and house prices going up and taxes going up, we all need to make our money go further. And I think auctions, thrifting, whatever means yard sales, you can find nice stuff and turn it into something that you love. So that's one thing I really enjoy about that. Like I said, the quality, the environmental impact. When I buy, I support local businesses. So when I'm buying from Safe Space in Lewisburg, that supports domestic violence, or the Durham Rescue Mission, who homes the homeless. So I'm also supporting those small, those businesses, those nonprofits, and then I'm in turn supporting myself. I'm also support individuals. I buy estates, so I support families and stuff. We do estate, clean outs I've had where elderly people couldn't move furniture down, and we've went in and helped them move stuff, and then we bought items from them. The items that we really couldn't sell, I was like, I'll take them to Goodwill. I'll bring you the receipt back. And like some gun cabinets and different things that were really too big for me to sell, I took them to thrift stores and
Yeah.
was able to help that family in that way. Um, I feel like with the treasure hunting, it's like just it's the fun of the hunt
Yeah.
to me. It's like finding, you never know what you'll see, and it's something new. Things are always there, um, and that's one thing that I love with like my booth. I have a booth at Copper Mill Mercantile in Kinston. We are looking to expand. We're looking for a building now to host auctions locally. Um, I have a lot of the places here in the local area, it's very hard. You have to get on a wait list for a booth at the antique shops. So I'm on list for like several in the area, in Youngsville, in Wake Forest, Roseville. But it's very competitive and hard. So I had to go out to Kinston to
Wow.
even get a booth. I have There are 300 vendors and 350 vendor spots. And I opened my booth the last weekend, the last 3 days in November. And talking with the owner, I'm in the top 10 of 300 vendors already in
Wow.
sales. I try to price my stuff competitively. I want people to be able to feel like they get a deal because I want a deal. If I get something at a good price, I want to offer it to them at a
Yeah.
good price. Um, so that makes me feel good. One of the things I just love this week, I sold on eBay. A lot of people, they have a limit. They're like, if it's not over $50, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to buy it. I love selling the small stuff too. So this mom wrote me. She said, "Hello, I just want to let you know how glad I am you posted this little frog. It's a little frog plushie. My son and I tried to get him out of the claw machine every time we'd go to the store. Then the claw machine broke, and they took the whole thing away. He's been so disappointed. I dug through the internet trying to find this frog, and nothing showed up until you. He will be so happy. This may be silly, but thank you so much for helping me get this dang frog." And I said, "You're so welcome. I have 6 kids, and I totally get it. My middle daughter loves the claw machine, and the prizes seem impossible to win. You're a great mom and so thoughtful. I'm so glad your son will love it. That makes my mama heart so happy." Or when people send me pictures of things in their home, it's like that makes me happy. I just enjoy helping people find things that bring back nostalgia, bring back sweet memories. Some of my other feedbacks that I think just made me feel really good that I just picked a few to share with you. It said, "I'm so thrilled with my book set. It arrived in a timely manner and condition which was near perfect for a book nearing 70 years old. I read these before I could read, spending hours with him every day for several decades. It's like having my childhood friend back with me in my old age. Great seller that I highly recommend. Thank you so much." And then another lady wrote about the nostalgia of these Christmas ribbons that her mom used on
Wow.
presents when in the 80s, Holly Hobby. And she said, "Thank you for fueling my Christmas nostalgia." And a lot of these, just encouragement. Just I love helping connect people
Mhm.
with things. One of my tips my grandpa always gave me, he said, don't just buy things you like, buy things for other people too. So keep them in mind. Say, and I do that too because you narrow your market
Mhm.
when you buy things you like. So I make sure I have something for kids, up to men, everything. I want them to everybody to be able to walk in my booth. I will have 2.5 booths now. I want them to walk in my booth or either look online and see that I have something for everybody, and I want everybody to feel like they get a little bitty treasure. This weekend too. I know some kids don't like going out to the big sales and the hot and the heat. And I had like McDonald's Happy Meal toys, the vintage ones, in the packages, and I had a box, and I was telling each kid, I said, "Did you find anything?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Take your Happy Meal toy," and I give the kids that a Happy Meal toy because I want them to walk away and feel like they had a treasure
Mhm.
and they had a good experience with their parents,
Oh,
because I remember the joy of like
mhm.
going to flea markets and yard sales and doing that with my family. So I want them to have that and be able to have something to take back that they enjoy and that
Yeah.
they can have a good fond memory of the time they
Wow.
had with their family.
This is absolutely fantastic. I love the story. I love the background. I used to go flea market with my grandfather before he passed away. Used to drive down his little convertible car that he had, go get ice cream hanging out the window. So I remember that kind of stuff. And you literally what you just said brought all that back, which is remarkable to me. So I appreciate that on a personal side. Again, Susan Collins joins us here, a part of our local talk program, and she was a winner recipient of the $2,500 grant from Duke Energy, partnering with Vance Granville Community College and the Small Business Center. And so, really, the last thing, what did the Duke Energy grant, the $2,500, how did that impact you, and not only for your business, but for your community?
Oh, amazingly. So for my community and for myself, I was able to open up my booth at Copper Mill Mercantile,
Wow.
and I was able to market, which means I expanded so much. So I'm taking around 200 to 300 items a week in my booth,
Wow.
and I got my name out there, and people are seeing, and I was able to like connect with other people and share my love of things, and I was able to actually connect people to
Yeah.
items that they love. The owner of Copper Mill, they have another antique mall in the over towards the mountains of North Carolina, and she's like, people come just for your booth. They're like, and that's the first place they go there. She's like, they just love your style of decorating. She said you have a true skill set because you're able to get so much. No other vendor here has so much in their
Hmm.
booth that looks so good and so cohesive. She's like, the amount of stuff I'm able to, I tell people I'm playing adult Tetris when I'm putting stuff in my booth. I'm making it cohesive and pretty. I love decorating. Um, but the ability to provide for my family,
Hmm.
leaving nursing, having that huge gap in income where I was, making, enough to, support our family, and then kind of having to step away. Um, and just, it just allowed me to help my family, and financially, it gave me, mentally, it gave me so much. Because people encourage me, like when I'm in the store and people will say, "Oh my gosh, your stuff is so beautiful," and then my daughter gets excited. My daughter's like, "They're buying your stuff, Mom. They're buying your stuff." Because when they come in, sometimes I'll step away to allow people to look. And my daughter's like, "They said your stuff was pretty, Mom. They like your," and I just giving me, confidence again, and giving me hope, a financial means to increase our income, exposure. I have increased my followers. Like I just started my Facebook page, and it might seem small, but I've grown to 500
Mm.
followers on my business page. I mean, I
Yeah.
I had like maybe 10. Okay, and that's huge to
Yeah.
me. I've networked with other business owners. I've had opportunities for marketing. I've
Mm.
taken marketing classes. Um, I've even shared. I share with other owners because there's enough to go around. I like everybody's like, I can't believe you share your thrifting spots or you share where you go get stuff. There's enough things to go around in the world. I don't mind sharing my stuff. I share about the small business thing, and I'm like, go take the classes. I said they even have on demand classes. If you can't go, there's on demand classes where you can go online through North Carolina Small Business Association and take classes at your leisure whenever you can. The Small Business Network is amazing. Miss Carolyn and what they offer something that empowers, encourages, and just gives people a business plan and helps them just put it out there and format it and just make it a reality. So she has helped me tremendously because before I was just on eBay. I didn't have a presence anymore in a store. So I sold stuff on eBay, but I didn't have a presence in a store. So now I do have a presence on a store. And I'm praying that hopefully locally I can
Yeah.
get a presence in like a local store.
Mhm.
I do pop-ups once a month at my house where I let people come and you know get stuff, and I'll do sales and whatnot with people just coming to my house and buying stuff. I post stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I had a lady come get a bookcase for her grandkids for $20 the other day, and she was so excited because she couldn't get a bookcase at Walmart for
Yeah.
$20, and this one was a real wood
Yeah.
bookcase. And so um, I, the community is so excited. Another thing that I do for the community is when I buy estates out and stuff and I buy clothes, taking them to the local nursing home
Mhm.
because some people don't have kids or families, and so I'm able to take the clothes. And a lot of the clothes, my daughter just wants this one vintage sweatshirt. I take the rest of the clothes to the nursing home because I know what it's like working in healthcare for people to be alone and be isolated and not have that. And so I want them to feel good too and
Mhm.
have something nice to wear. And a lot of times I get a lot of nice, cute clothes, and I'll take the matching pajama sets and the clothes and have them something to
Yeah.
make them feel good about themselves. Um, Another thing, I've just offered people advice or even helped people for free. I don't mind helping people. People send me stuff and like, how should I price this? How should I do this? And I love helping people. Being a nurse and also that life of service my family ingrained in me has made me want to help others. And I mean, I want to give back. I think we all should want to give, and I instill that in my children. You give more than
Mhm.
you take, and you try to make this world a better place. And you don't have to do it all, but just little small
Yeah.
things can make the difference to everybody. And that's what that's what Carolyn has been amazing. The Small Business Center has been amazing. The Duke Grant. I received another grant back in the spring through the Franklin County Revitalization
Mhm.
Committee, and that was amazing. Just networking with the people, learning and growing. I've supported other small businesses. The printing company in Old Mill Printing Company in Lewisburg, Casey Talavera. I've get business cards from her. She's amazing. She made my signs for my business. So it's my small business supporting other small
Mhm.
businesses and supporting people in the community. I've the local churches and stuff doing
Mhm.
donations and whatnot. It's been a really good
Yeah.
experience. I'm glad I had this opportunity. It has been a blessing to me.
I love that. Absolutely. Again, she is Susan Collins. She is with Key Collective Vintage. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing all this stuff. I
Thank
think
you
your
for having me.
story, the background, I think is beautiful. So congratulations. Continue having success. We wish you nothing but the best. Okay.
Thank you so
You're
much. And
welcome.
can I just say, I'm on Facebook on Key Collective Vintage, and I also have links to my eBay page throughout that. If you need any help with, estate sale services and whatnot, I can help you. I can do an on-site estates auction. I just don't have the building yet to
Mhm.
take the items off. So if looking at an estate sale at your home, whatnot, or you need help with pricing things or ideas, or you want to put just individual items on consignment, I also do that. So
Love it. Well,
thank
again,
you.
God bless you. Thank you so much, and wish you nothing but the best moving forward. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, my name is Trey Stein on behalf of our local talk program and Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com. And we have teamed up with Vance Granville Community College and the Small Business Center to highlight these businesses that were awarded the $2,500 grant from Duke Energy. Until next time, we will see you later.